Hi all, thanks for coming and here to listen to me about my art lesson today. So the content descriptor I will be covering in this lesson is from the Australian curriculum, and that is respond to visual artworks and consider where and why people make visual artworks. All my lessons, I do begin with the three main rules of explicit teaching, and that is to be clear about the lesson goals, show and tell the students what they need to do, and give them some time to reflect and practice on what they have learned. As we're all aware, our school does have a high percentage of diversity in social, economic, and cultural students, which can impact the flow of activities and the overall classroom environment. I find that spending the extra 5 minutes at the beginning of the lesson to really explain and set clear goals, it does help level out the range of abilities between all the students. And obviously, the pedagogical framework extremely important in our school and all Australian schools. I'd like to think in that matter. And therefore, by using this method, it does allow for all students to begin the lesson in a fair manner. So, I'd like for all the students to feel that they're part of a support network, and where my class, they're here to, they feel the support in all their abilities, any cultures, and any emotional needs that they may require. Now, in regards to the task, being a year two class, I really didn't want to focus too much on the in depth explanation of the history of the artwork, but more so the appreciation of it. So, I have chosen to integrate art and ICT, and in the lesson, I will be allowing the students to navigate their own way through the That's Melbourne website, which is on your handouts if you'd like to visit it. Um, and I've asked them to then type a short persuasive piece on one piece of street art that they find on that website. So I want them to pretend that they're the artist and why they believe that this piece of art was needed in our community and what they believe it brings. They can still keep the real meaning of it because there is a short description under each photo of the street art on the website, but really what this kind of means to them. Um, Now, in regards to the teaching strategy, I really could have used either scaffolding or inquiry-based learning. Now, scaffolding also would have had a quite a positive outcome because of the large diversity of students in this particular class. It would have provided a differentiated learning, and the task could have been altered to suit the learner's abilities. However, I believe that the diversity was something that could have actually given a positive benefit to the task, and it will allow the students to view the artwork with their own eyes and develop their own interpretation of it. So, therefore, I have chosen to choose the inquiry based learning as my strategy here, so that the students can kind of guide their own way through it and really see what they can take from it. Now, this is obviously an effective learning strategy and it's supported by many organisations and lots of research. So, the early years learning framework doesn't only recognise it as a childhood benefited strategy, but it's something we take with us into adulthood. So, it's a lifelong learning where we do use active involvement and creative thinking for all of our years. So, this will also allow the students to use their own interest and any previous knowledge or cultural abilities to further engage them into the material. In turn, I'm hoping to create a solid foundation and create a positive starting point for an effective learning for this lesson. And having the diverse classroom that we have, it will help create a lot of different viewpoints on the same piece of artwork depending on what the students have experienced in the past. Now, art as a subject, extremely important. So you got your theorists like John Goodland and Lev Vygotsky. They're all extremely inspirational and highly regard art education as an important factor of child development in many areas such as their motor skills, language developments, improved academic performance in all disciplines. But in this activity, the main focus is inventiveness. So we're allowing the students to really express themselves and develop a sense of innovation and cultural awareness. So at the end of the lesson, when they're sharing this short piece to the classroom, it will teach them to recognise the impact that everybody's upbringing has had on their interpretation of reality. An interesting viewpoint that I have actually found while doing my research for this lesson was that the American-based chairman of National Endowment for Arts has also, his name is Rocco Landsman, and that's the link is also on your handout. But he has argued that art, it's not only for all of the above mentioned, but more so for saving those talented students that don't quite gel into other disciplines such as science or maths or English. And art will actually help turn them into a creative citizen with a place in our society, which I believe is extremely important for many students to feel that they are still well needed, even if they don't fall into those more, I suppose, norm categories. So yeah, if any questions, please, I'm open for discussion, but that's basically my lesson in a nutshell. So thanks for listening.